Hey, welcome back to my channel once again, my dear internet friends. I know it's all windy and all, but it's never too late to make another good video. In today's video, we're gonna test how this sounds for vlogging purpose versus the DJI Mic 2 on such a windy condition. And I'm gonna give you my thoughts, especially for vlogging purpose. Right out of the bat, I would say this A7C II with the 11mm f1.8 lens is such an amazing combination for vlogging purpose. That, along with this microphone that connects with the smart shoe mount, is such an amazing combination for a lightweight vlogging setup, right? One more thing that adds to the benefit of using the Sony A7C II as a vlogging camera is the dynamic active steady shot. I'm going to show you how it sounds and how it looks. I am recording audio in both the Sony A7CR and the Sony A7C II. The one on the Sony A7C II is actually the Sony mic itself, and it's fantastically performing, and I can walk a bit, I can talk, and it's such a windy condition. I have set it to a super cardioid polar pattern on the microphone. As you can see here, the settings, right? So these are the settings I'm talking about, and this is how it sounds on such a windy condition. You can really compare with the DJI mic as well as the Sony mic. And when I'm walking and talking, this is how it sounds, and this is how it feels. The dynamic active steady shot is enabled, and when you walk and talk into the camera, this is how it sounds. The biggest negative I feel when using this microphone and the camera setup is that when you go further away from the microphone, let's say further away, you cannot really get good audio. So you really have to stay close with the microphone, especially if you're vlogging, and you'll have to raise up the camera and also make sure the microphone is staying pretty close to your mouth. And the second biggest disadvantage using this Sony microphone is that when you're turning your camera around and filming, so when you're filming this way, whatever you're talking is absolutely not picking up by the microphone. It's not like omnidirectional microphone, it's super cardioid. Luckily, you can change the polar pattern on the back even while recording. So now it is an omnidirectional microphone. It is supposed to pick up my sound, and this is how it sounds. I don't know how well it sounds, so I'll have to really look into the video clip to see if this is performing any good. But I'm pretty sure whatever this is recording, I can get back the audio because it is internally recording as well in 32-bit float. So if anything were to peak, I can really get back the audio. But about this microphone setup, I'm not so much confident. Now, these are the two biggest disadvantages of using this microphone, but otherwise I think this is a fantastic microphone. Even compared to the Sennheiser MKE600, I'll be showing that combination in a bit. But for vlogging and talking for the video purpose, I think this is doing fantastic. So obviously now you can see that the DJI receiver is on the top of this microphone, and the Sony microphone is on top of the camera that's recording me on a tripod, and instantly you can see the difference. I'm further away from the Sony microphone that's on the tripod, and also the receiver is obviously pointing away from me, so I'm unable to see if it's actually recording or not. I wish it was better implemented, probably like something like a two-way, but I think whatever DJI has managed to give as a solution for vloggers like me, it's already great. I feel like this is performing great. I think this is going to be my primary recording device if at all I'm vlogging, because it's super convenient. Even if I were to turn the camera and film what's in front of me, it's me who is talking into the microphone, and it's pretty good. I can shoot B-rolls and I can talk over the video, so everything is getting recorded. And I like this approach because I'm the one who is talking, and if I need to record the sound of something closer, what I can do is I can take this microphone out and I can put it closer to the subject and record the sound that the subject is causing. It's super convenient to take this microphone out and put it closer to the sound source and record the audio, rather than taking the camera up close to the subject to record the audio. In a way, it's more beneficial. It has more versatility in recording audio. But in terms of run and gun quick audio production, I find the Sony camera is doing much better because, you know, once the camera is on, the microphone is already on. But here, you have to turn on this receiver, you have to turn on this recorder, and you have to turn on the camera to record audio. So I find it like a lot of things need to be turned on to record audio, whereas the Sony instantly powers up right when I turn on the camera. In a way, the Smart Shoe microphone is so much more beneficial compared to the DJI Mic 2, but DJI Mic 2 is super versatile. So you have to pick which one is more beneficial for you, for your shooting styles, before you choose to buy this microphone. While we are doing this, I'm going to give you one more example with using the Sennheiser MKE600 compared to this Sony microphone. As you can see, there's something on the top of the frame, which is nothing but the Sennheiser MKE600 microphone recording the audio. So I have to be like this close to get real proper gains, and also I'm trying to keep the camera at the same distance. This is the kind of sound that you get. This A7CR gain may be a bit lower compared to the A7C2. But even when I'm keeping quiet, it's picking up a lot more sound, telling me clearly that the Sennheiser MKE600 has a clear advantage. And also you can see here, Sennheiser MKE600 is clearly much bigger, and also it's protruding so much outside the camera. As you can see, it's like super duper big. And to avoid such windy conditions, if you want to get really good audio in such windy conditions, you have no other choice but to use such big dead cats compared to this tiny dead cat. And definitely this is not something you want for such windy situations. And that's why I really prefer the Sennheiser MKE600 if you were to film anything on a windy situations. Or I'm recording this audio in DJI Mic 2 as well. You can place a microphone very close and you can sync this recorded audio in post as well. So DJI Mic 2 can be super versatile in such windy conditions compared to the Sony mic or even the Sennheiser MKE600. Alright, one more thing I want to talk about between these two, Sennheiser MKE600 and the Sony microphone, is the levels that you can change. So in Sony microphone, you set the level on the microphone and you cannot change it to anything else on the camera. So you are very limited to that. But when you're using the MKE600 microphone and connected to the camera using the 3.5mm jack, you're able to change the audio gain levels in the camera. So that's something that you could change, which I think is good. But the auto levels from the Sony microphone is already great, and I think I would leave it at that because it's super convenient, because you can hand hold it. You cannot hand hold this thing. You really cannot hand hold this thing. It's like super humongous. I wouldn't dare hand holding this camera and microphone setup, but if you have no other choice, what can you do? You might really need to hand hold this humongous setup, right? But I have a better solution for you. So this is the solution I was talking about. In such extremely windy conditions, the best way to film is to use the Sennheiser MKE600 or some mic like this and connect it to the DJI Mic 2 here. And this will give you some unbelievable audio quality. I'm also recording this audio internally into the DJI Mic 2, so you get the 32-bit float experience. So even if something were to peak, you can get back the audio. But make sure this dead cat is completely flushed down to the microphone. And this is how it sounds. It's so incredibly windy. I don't know how else to show. You can see all the bushes, like they are like super screaming. They are trying to fly away from the road, and the sound is great still. Like I cannot hold the mic on my hand stably, but the audio that is even recorded into the camera using the DJI receiver is already sounding great. In my opinion, it's not peaking at all. I can see the audio levels on the screen, and it's definitely not peaking. So in my opinion, I don't think you can get any better audio quality from a very portable solution. This, I think, is like super portable. You can get amazing audio quality and you can carry it with you like anywhere. So of course there are some negatives to this as well. So obviously this setup is a bit heavier than the Sony microphone, and all of these devices need to be turned on individually. Like this MKE600 need to be turned on, the DJI Mic 2 need to be turned on, and the DJI receiver need to be turned on, and they don't turn on when the camera is on by itself. But for this one, on the other hand, the microphone turns on by itself when the camera is turned on, and all you need to do is just hit the record button. So this can be really versatile, but for really good audio quality, you have to really look into some solution like this. So you really need to make a compromise between the portability and convenience of using a camera and microphone setup versus getting some really amazing audio quality, even in such windy conditions. There's one more thing I want to talk about this microphone, and that's the handling noise. So it's not just the handling noise from the camera itself or when you change some switches on the microphone. I'm talking about the handling noise when you use a lens, a zoom lens, and try to zoom it to the end and back. When the lens hits the extremes, it's gonna make some sound, and even those sounds are getting picked up by this microphone. So handling the handling noise in this microphone is a bit tricky. You might have to discard a lot of sounds, so you will have to be absolutely careful handling this camera setup, while you can be a bit more liberal using this microphone, because as you can see, I'm just holding using like 3 fingers, and I've been walking and talking, and I don't think not much of handling noise is being picked up by this microphone setup. So it's up to you to decide whether you want the versatility or the convenience of using the one camera and microphone setup. For me, it's going to be just the DJI microphone receiver with an adapter, and I'm gonna keep them on, so when I need to record, it's always there on. As I have my pick, please let me know in the comments down below which is your pick between these 3 setups. It's again setups and not just a microphone. You will really need to have a proper setup to use this microphone, except for the Sony one. That's it for the video, guys. Choose your best pick, understand your needs, what you prioritize, and choose the microphone accordingly. That's it for the video, guys. See you in the next video. Peace.